Ooh, that was that was a nice sound right off the bat. Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm very pumped.
I've watched them, but I have no idea what the results are.
Yeah, so everyone, welcome to the Sombrero Smash 2022. I've got a lot of paperwork here. I feel like a sports commentator because I have like my iPad, I have my Excel sheets of all my notes.
It's a big undertaking for you to put this on.
It is a little bit, but you know what? I enjoy it. And I am grateful to you for hosting it this time. So that's pretty rad, dude. I think a lot of people will be able to see it.
Yes.
And it'll be fun. And people, your people are monster truck people. So it should go hand in hand.
Yes. Lurch way past his bedtime here on the East Coast. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's late. We're going to just get right into it here because we've got a lot of content to watch, guys. So you're here. You're going to see a bunch of monster truck freestyle runs that are RC, all different kinds. There's going to be Jeff Walter. This will be great for you to see some of the different jumps and layouts people did in their backyards. And it's just awesome freestyle fun. And we're going to start with the kids class.
Yeah. So it's 10 and under. And the kids class, I'm scrolling to what their requirements were. Hey, what's up, Mario? Vehicle City. Nice to see you, Raisin from the Grave Shift. So taquitos are the kids, no edits, one continuous cut, 30 seconds, unlimited rollovers, any monster truck RC, could be two-wheel drive, anything that looks like a monster truck.
You just want the kids involved.
Exactly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to watch the top three, and then we're just going to tell them what the scores are and go from there.
All right. We'll help people do a little bit of not full-on announcing as it goes, but we'll call out some of the jumps that we see, some of the tricks, and I guess if you call out some of what were the things that they had to hit on this?
Nothing. This one was just go.
Okay. So there's in some of the other classes there were requirements, and so we'll kind of point out when we see those.
Absolutely.
So yeah. All right. Ryan B. RC is here. Mario Super One-Handed. Zach, Joseph, Chanel. Let's go. Where's that at? Here it is.
All right.
All right. First, who are we starting off with here?
So coming in third place in the kids class is Colby. Ryan B. RC son Colby.
Oh, keep going.
Here he is. Looks like he's running it. Yeah, I think it's an SMT 10.
Definitely.
Oh, keep going. Hit the
Solid backflip.
Keep going.
I see
those are those ones that you get scared of when the kids pin it right before the wall. You're like, ooh.
Oh yeah. Whoa, that was like a twist in it.
Yeah. So that was awesome because he waited, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't just throw it in reverse or pin the trigger. He waited for it. So this is like one of the hardest things for kids is the hunting, right? Like they want to get it perfect every time. So they
line it up.
Yep. They line it up a little bit. Okay. So judges scores. So the judges for this round were Big America, Outlaws of Motorsports RC, and Dolled Up Racing. Jessica, she's awesome. She's helped me out a lot in these. So she's done it. And I think the last time she was one of the live judges too. So Big America gave him a 7. Outlaws gave him 7.5. Dolled Up Racing gave him a 7.5. And the fans. So what I did is I took all the scores off the fans like this, right? And I let Excel crunch all the numbers for me. And so the fans gave him, let's see, you don't have it up on the screen, but I have it right here.
Sorry, I can put it back up.
No, you're good. So the fans gave him a 7. So an average of 7 over everything. So his total score
his shins gave him a 2. Let's just put that out there. His shins were like, nope, terrible run. I hate you.
I know. His shins were like, no soup for you.
That was fantastic.
Yes. Well, you know what was cool is that he didn't stop, right? So like he was like, ooh, kind of gutted it out and he was like, I'm going. So
yeah. His shins were the wow factor, Ryan says.
So we can roll to the next screen.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's get the final score. Cool graphics.
29, wrapping in third. So coming up.
Congratulations, man, Colby.
Yeah, nice job.
Nice run.
Nice job, Colby. Good work.
They're harder to line up than people think.
Oh, dude, totally harder.
All right, next up,
second place is DRG.
Nice save.
Mini RC Amigo here. This was his first day running an LMT.
All right.
And you can hear it, how much fun he had.
Yeah. This is awesome, he says. It's got some power.
Yeah, right.
Those
there
are
was a little scared.
right
yeah,
there,
100%.
Either servo breaker, axle breaker, so many things you could do. Oh, nice backflip.
Yeah. He was having a blast.
You could see him lining up there.
Do it.
Punched it.
Oh, man.
Your jump took it.
He knew what he had right
Can
there.
I see it? Yes.
Yeah, he was all about that one. So Big America gave him a 7, Outlaws 8.5, Dolled Up Racing 8.5, and the fans averaged up to an 8.2.
All right.
So
there was a little bit more flow in that one. It didn't have the shin breaker stop. It did have the quick stop to talk or say, oh, that was awesome. But
yeah,
both of them for kids, man. I don't know that my kids had lined stuff up that easily yet. Still,
I was surprised when we first had them start the run. I was like, dude, just take it around the track a little bit, get used to it, get used to the steering.
Don't destroy it, please.
Yeah, I know. Well, that happened later that afternoon, but I was like, just burp it over the jumps a little bit, and he had a good feeling for it. I was surprised. So, all right. So next screen shows the score.
Right, let's see the final. Fans gave it 32.2.
32.2. So let's just keep it rolling into the next one and bring it up on the top. Returning champion, undisputed, Xavier. So I don't know if you noticed his wheels and tire combo. He was running dually front and back. Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
He almost had that moonwalk.
Yeah, the moonwalk on it. I love all the stuff hanging off the car.
Yeah, making it look ragged. His poor tranny. Control. I could hear his tranny click every now, or whatever it might be, clicking every now.
Probably. Yeah. It sounds like it's a.
There you go.
It's hard to tell. Was that an SMT10? Because if so,
no, I'm pretty
LMT.
LMT, yeah.
Okay, then it wouldn't probably be the diffs.
Yeah, I don't know. Something clicked.
Well, sometimes those gears will just grind a little bit as you jam on the brakes and stuff. But man, I've been doing that to mine for over a year since I got it.
That's awesome.
It'll click, but that cush drive.
Yeah.
So fans say 8.7.
Yep, fans gave him 8.7. Big America gave him a 9. Outlaws gave him a 9, and Dolled Up Racing gave him an 8. And Dolled Up Racing commented that she liked his decorations on the truck.
Decorations are bonus. Now, I'll just say, so they all had a lot of the same kind of tricks, right?
Yeah.
The difference with his was just the speed, I think, that he just kept it going. It had a momentum to it, a flow.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been what helped him with the judges and the fans out there. But very good run, man.
So let's
see the total real quick.
Oh yeah, total.
And then we'll pause it up.
Sure.
34-7. So there's tight scores.
Tight scores, yeah. And that was out of 40. So that was exceptionally well. So we had 34.7, we had a 32.2, and we had a 29 at the top there, top 3. So I will be reaching out to the winners and telling them what their prize packs are. We have our sponsors. Thanks to our sponsors, real quick, Scale Metal Supplies, JB Scale Graphics, and Ovonic Lipos.
Nice.
You all have been really helping out over the time. So really appreciative of that. And these kids, thank you to the kids and to the parents that let the kids do it, that are gracious enough to hand the kid a controller and say break it. That is awesome.
Right. And know that they're gonna have to fix it like you have to do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But totally worth it, right?
100% worth it. Let's see.
Ryan BRC, grown-ups can't do some of that.
I know, agree. Right? Yep.
Some of the tricks when I first started, I could not do. I could hit curbs pretty good.
I know, right? Right. So he says best part of the hobby is doing it with your kids. And so that's 100%. So, but yeah, man, I mean, it's so much fun. And like when my son was running that LMT for the first time, that was one of the videos that you heard him get excited. But I mean, when I turned it up from 75 to 100 for him, he was just like freaking out. Yeah. So, oh dude, he had so much fun with it. So coming up next, we have the Mysterios class. So let me talk a little bit about how the class system works. So,
all right. I like the Taquitos name while we're there. Yeah. Clever name.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's it kind of goes along with the theme there. We have theme of this one is Cinco de Mayo. Theme of the next one, Halloween. So I want to make sure people don't think like the Mysterios class is like anything like a B-level class, because we're changing that class up a lot right now, and that class consistently has brought some amazing runs over the last couple of years. And
it just means it's their first time in, right?
It could be their first time in, or like, for instance, there's some people that may have had issues or breaks or short runs in the years before. And it's crazy to say years before, because we've done this like 5 times now. But you know, they've had short runs or however it is.
Yeah.
And so now here's the caveat to what we're doing. It's called it the top 7 in the Jefe class. Bottom man of the totem pole goes to Mysterios, and top man
back down,
and top man goes up to top 7.
Okay.
So of Mysterios. So whoever wins this class has the ticket to go up to top 7, and it should be. I think we'll talk about it at the end, but I think this next one's going to be big in October. So let's roll the Mysterios.
Let's roll it back out. Mysterios.
Yep. So starting with 3rd place.
We'll let it reveal here.
Yeah, let it burn, as they say. So 3rd place is Ryan B. RC. Yep.
Start to recognize the yards and stuff from Instagram.
I know, right? Yep. I love it.
That was a cool trick to start off, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so he gets the donut in. He's got requirements. He has to hit a donut and a backflip.
That's a donut and hold on.
Oh, slap wheelie.
Slap wheelie and reverse hit.
Okay, so 3 requirements. There's a slap wheelie. We had the donuts already.
Yep.
Nice wheel stand
and
there.
And these ones had 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I would say the moonwalk constitutes as a reverse hit, perhaps. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, it's a reverse. It's a trick in reverse. I would count it for that.
Yeah, totally.
People would say different. I mean, you hit a trick and then you pulled another trick off in reverse.
Yep. I love that sound. Nice. There you go. Okay.
Right, let's see the scores.
So here's something that was really interesting with this. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Scoring might have been the next. I think it's the next class. Cat's not out of the bag. So judges on this one: Scale Metal Supplies, ZWS Hobbies, and RC Propaganda. So Scale Metal Supplies give them an 8, ZWS Hobbies an 8, and RC Propaganda 7, and the fans averaged out to 8.2. What I really liked about this this whole like way of scoring is that if you look at it, the fans were actually pretty right on with what the judges were on all these scores. They're close. Yeah, they're really close. So I like the way that worked. So roll his next all right,
let's see some of the comments here. Awesome run for the Taquitos was Lurch.
Yep.
Ryan says this was his second one. Wish he knew it existed sooner.
Yep.
The shimmy dance wheelie will always be a classic. Yeah. All right. See his final score here.
It's like the Chucky dance, right?
Yeah, the Chucky dance, man. Gotta love the Chucky dance.
31.2. Okay.
Rolling.
So rolling on to the next one. Mario Twine, Vehicle City, making it in the
City.
top 3. Look at that. There's his reverse donut.
Donut, yeah.
So I think that kills 2 in one
reverse
stone.
move, yeah.
Yeah. He's got some power behind that. You can hear it, man.
Oh, nice. Riding on the nose there for a second.
Yep. I like how he jumped out of the back of the truck. Huge backflip. He's honey badgering those bodies for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's a reverse hit too.
Yep. Stuck the landing. There you go. Excellent job, dude. He was one of those guys that struggled for the first couple of times he did it, and then now look at him. He's top, right? He's on the top 3. So Scale Metal Supplies gave him a 9. ZWS Hobbies gave him a 7. RC Propaganda 7.5, and the fans 7.9. So it evened out really, really well. So go ahead and roll to that.
Cool. To answer the question in the comments, what are we watching? This is the Sombrero Smash Monster Truck Freestyle Challenge from Instagram. And this is the finals of it. They were all voted on by judges and by the fans. So this is where we find out what place everybody took based on the tabulation of all the scoring.
There you go.
So, all right.
Speaking of scoring,
it is scored. 31.4. Now that's close. Now, did he hit all the requirements in that one?
He did. He got a slap wheelie, donut, reverse hit.
All right.
Just crushing it. So let's move on to the top. And we have Lurch RC, first timer, comes out on top. And I'll get to something at the end here.
Okay.
So
slap wheelie.
Big slap wheelie. So he had to hit slap wheelie, donut, and reverse hit. Another slap wheelie.
Those are clean.
Yes, sir.
Nice use of all of the area. All right, good save. That thing has that slap wheelie down. Suspension's like it likes it. Oh, and then
there you go.
Stuck. Now that's an ending right there.
Nailed it. So here's the thing that we decided on. And there was some of those kind of transition ones, but he didn't have a donut for sure. And so that was a -3 on points for the not having the donut. So Scale Metal Supplies gave him a 9. ZWS Hobbies gave him an 8. RC Propaganda 7, and the fans averaged out to 8.7 minus the 3 of the no donut. And you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
32.7. So here's the total scores overall for everybody here. Oh,
I went too far.
Uh-oh.
Backed it up.
There you go. So,
all right.
There you go. So we have 32.7, 31.4, 31.2, and then the rest of the field goes down. So we had Mrs. Trailer Trash. I feel bad for her because I have a feeling that Mr. Trailer Trash broke her truck before she ran.
Oh,
I'm just saying, could happen. Other thing, I am so
calling them out.
I know,
out, bro.
Walmart bag 2148. So that's Cody Kodiak. He's what was his Slightly Mad Monsters was his last account that got hacked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a video.
He's selling crypto now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to put a video that shows all the cars running, but it's going to be one video for the kids, one video for Mysterio class, and one video for Hefe. And it's going to kind of look like this, but just be longer form. And I'll put those on YouTube.
Nice.
So that way people can go and watch everybody's run. But,
yeah, and it looked like he was going for a donut in there and just couldn't get it to break free.
Yep. And so here's a little rivalry that might happen. And I actually put Carson up there, but I know Carson's in the other class. Actually, no, Carson is in this class. So Carson is Outlaw's son. In the next one, I accidentally scored him as Carson also, but I know it was Chad. So great job, guys. Great job, Lurch. You did awesome, man.
It was a good run. There was some neat. That wall ride was pretty cool.
Yeah,
coming up and around there.
Super awesome.
Definitely,
awesome.
And definitely like good flow all around, hitting all the different things. A lot of hits in that run.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. So now we're moving on to the bigger dance.
The main event.
The main. This would be the stadium series.
The Hefe. Yep. So this one. Let's see here.
Oh, I see fire. I know.
Yeah, so this one, slap wheelie, donut, reverse hit. I misspoke on the other one. The other one was just slap wheelie and donut.
I was going to say there wasn't a reverse hit in that one, and I was remembering that I had one last thing. Yep.
So the Hefe class has to have a slap wheelie, a donut, and a reverse hit on this.
Okay.
So third place, Mondrox 133. He was actually champion last season. So here we go. Let's see his.
Still in the top.
Yep.
Top of the class.
Still representing.
The fire's wicked. So there's a front flip right off the bat. That was cool.
Yep. And on Instagram, I felt bad because that kind of got cut off a little bit, but I don't know. You know, it's like getting a bad bounce at the field, right? You never know.
Reverse donut.
Yep.
Now I find that the LMT actually does donuts really easily.
Yeah.
So I don't know if these are set up a little different than the ones that come box stock, but nice.
Good save, yeah.
Yep. Getting a little upset there is cool.
I like how he's using this fence.
Yeah. Oh, and fire. There's a nice
corkscrew, flip. Yeah. And so this one, they also had to fill the 90-second
nice wall
clock.
Ride. Definitely has the control of it down.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. There's another donut. Reverse hit into a reverse flip. Nice.
Yep. I like how he's bouncing.
Solid run. So you said he took
solid.
first last time, which means that he's in a different class this time. So he was in.
No, he was in. Was he in this class last time? I don't remember, but I remember he was in first.
I think he took first because I took first in the.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep. So I think he was in the last one.
Yep. So there you go. So Big America gave him 8. You are a judge in this one. So this is a different class. So it's Big America, CCXRC, and Dolled Up Racing. And for you, those who don't know who Dolled Up Racing is, that's her Instagram at Dolled Up Racing. She is awesome. I believe she's going to the Monster Truck World Finals.
Yep. She should be there next week.
Yep. Her and her husband, Mike Letcher, I think it is his name, Mike, his first name, Letcher Racing, have a sweet track in their backyard. They host events, all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Awesome track.
Super rad monster truck people. So back to the scores. Big America 8, CCXRC 8, Dolled Up Racing 7.5, and the fans 8.2, which gives him 31.7. Okay, so pause here for a second. 31.7. Here's what was crazy.
All right.
Fourth place, and we'll see this in a minute, also had
close.
No, they also had 31.7.
Oh, but did they miss a trick?
No, but the metric. So there's two different things that I used as a tiebreaker. One was so Mondrox judges gave him 23.5 total. The judges for fourth place was Mini Jam Chase, gave him 24 points. So he's a half a point off. But the fans for Mondrox gave him 8.2. Mini Jam got 7.7.
So you use the fans as a
no,
no?
I use seniority as a tiebreaker since Mondrox was on top of the last one. I gave him the tiebreaker for that since he got in first. So it was close. And what was cool is that it was close, but on different line items. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was what was really neat. So how often will that happen? So moving on to second place. All right,
next. Big
soaring to a good start. Whoa. Zach Soar, ZWS Hobbies.
Oh, look at him walk that. I remember this run. This is a really good run.
Yeah, it is. He's been linked. He's like an individual post. He's been linking some awesome stuff together. There you go.
Another reverse hit. Nice flip. He gets great pop off those tires.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that was sketchy. Was a tight one. That was sketchy. That's very much like the 8-pack used to be. They changed that up. So many people used to fail those 8-pack hits. What's such a tight rotation?
Yeah, and what's so rad is he's just full on sending it early on in his 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's like, let's do it. Let's go.
I've got a couple of boxes like these ones. They're super fun to hit.
Yeah. He squared that one up real nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, since it's only the one jump.
Yeah.
What? Reverse hit to a moonwalk. He landed it into one. That was cool.
There you go. So Big America hit him up with an 8. It was the 8 trifecta across the board, and then the fans gave him a boost. This was probably the biggest gap in between, and I can tell he had his homies go and vote for him because he had by far, him and Sophia by far had the most fan votes. But he got a 9.2.
That's part of the game. It's part of the
100%.
Game. I should have given that a 9.
Yeah, it was solid.
Back. There was 2 really good tricks in there.
Yeah,
really like above what everybody else was hitting. Yep. I think that the reason I didn't, and I didn't do any 0.5s because I thought we were trying to keep them single numbers.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I watched the next one first, and based on what I scored, that as how I based the rest of them.
Right.
On a scale like, well, I know that I kind of, this is whatever, and 10s are like, for me, like it's got to be
catching on fire at the very end.
Yeah, showstopper. Like a 9 for me is almost a 10.
Yeah.
Because even X Games, all those kind of things, when you watch that perfect score, it's got to be something new and crazy, and
it's got to be Tony Hawk doing an 800.
Like if you would have hit that, you'd have hit maybe like the slap wheelie to front flip, and then like a bunch of really difficult things linked in one run.
Yep.
But yeah, very cool. Very nice run, Zach.
Zach saying, "You're breaking my heart, Tony. You're breaking my heart."
Well, I mean, it's based on the scale. I mean,
yeah. Well, so his score, his total score came in at 33.2. So third place is 31.7. Second place is 33.2.
Yep.
And now for
and I've got something to say after this one.
Okay.
And after all of them, actually.
Okay.
It's really cool to see how these happen because these are so hard to do. People don't realize it.
Oh,
that 90-second clock just changes every skill you think you had.
Well, and it's 90 seconds with no rollovers. Right. That's what's difficult, right? Like you could do 90 seconds and flip someone over, but 90 seconds in a roll with no rollovers. Oh my goodness. It is super hard.
Speaking of, I hope for the fans' sake, when we're in Orlando next week. I hope they do flip them over so that they're not like short runs and like, all right, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Like with people watching that aren't RCers, they just
Right.
want to see trucks get thrown and destroyed, right? So
right.
I
It's
hope
like you almost need like
let
turn
them fill the
marshals.
time, you know,
Yeah.
like just go nuts and berserk. I hope that's how they do it because it's all about throwing that big.
So, do you think people are like, let's get to first place already?
Yeah, probably.
But maybe we should throw to another commercial. No, just kidding.
Right.
CCXRC.com. Go get your scale RC mini monster truck stuff, all the brass you can handle, all the good stuff from CCXRC.com.
Yeah, I mean, one or two rollovers. I know most of the time we'll do 2 rollovers or something like that at those.
Yeah.
But again, it's so much of it's about just burning it down for the crowd and let them like show them what these things can do.
Yeah,
it's tough to fill the clock and also then go out and do things that you wouldn't necessarily do if you're worried about rollovers. All right, 100%. Let's go.
All right.
Dun, dun,
dun. There he is, LWCRC.
Taz.
There you go.
Win. There's a slab wheelie.
Yep.
He's running 4 steer. Lucky bounce. Another lucky bounce. That's nice.
Come on, right? Like
that was nice.
Especially
those
throwing a roost.
To do.
No. And it just looks cool throwing a roost like that too.
Another
reverse hit.
He's got a few jumps. Not really giving him that backflip that he wants.
No.
The donuts in there. That's nice. And
crunchy, yeah. I wonder if that was his body or something driven away.
Like it. This.
Oh man.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah. That's 10 worthy right there. Like, look at that.
It is, but there weren't the standard tricks like the back. There's a backflip, but it wasn't as big.
Right.
A lot of reverses. It was good. That one trick alone kind of would stand out, you know.
Right.
And then the other bicycle that was super long run.
Yeah.
It looks like he's trying to get into the cyclone.
Yeah. Or burn it down.
Yeah. I mean, at this point he's just burning it down.
Love it.
But yeah.
You did give him a 10. Look at that.
Oh, I did give him a 10. Okay. Oh. Well, then I should have given Zach a 9. I'm sorry, Zach.
36.3. So here's the scores. 36.3. Where'd you go?
I'm trying to get to it.
Okay.
I don't know that I've seen that bicycle to moonwalk pulled off that well.
It looked intentional. And it looked intentional. Like it didn't look like
it
just
straight
happened.
Up real. Like if he could do editing on that and zoom in and stuff.
Oh, I hope he does.
Slow that thing down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the best of that trick that I've seen. And I guess that's what made me give it a 10 is that one.
Yeah.
That was one awesome. Move. There's several things that just nobody else was doing. So
right. Those bicycles are
so hard.
Amazing. Like, and you can tell he's ran that patch a while because you could tell by the throttle control, like how much he could push it to get it to slide and how much he could, super awesome. So Zach,
what was the final score? What would my 9 have given Zach? I still think it would have been the same.
Yeah, he would have, Zach.
Sorry, man.
Zach would have got a 34 point.
I will say you had a very good run.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And so I should have. I partly, Zach, I should have given it a 9.
Well, Zach would have had a 34.2 and still wouldn't have overcome a 36.
Okay. Which is what he got here. Yep.
So you can go to the next screen if you want. There you go.
Yep.
So here's the totals up and down. LVCRC that comes away with the winner, 36.3, ZWS 33.2. So Mondrox and Mini Jam, we discussed that earlier, how that happened, why the tiebreaker went up. Mondrox won last round, so I gave him the nod on that.
Mm-hmm.
Trailer Trash 31.1. Outlaws, I didn't mean to put Carson here, but it was Chad, 29.6. And Jalen, Mini Jam, being in the bottom of the tank, sorry about it, brother, but now you go to Mysterios. So here's something that we got to talk about real quick. And I'm not sure how, originally when I started doing this kind of, up and down kind of thing, I was wondering, if you take one off, are you automatically in Mysterios? Because
if take one off.
So like, for instance, you didn't do this last
if I go
round.
back, I don't think I should be allowed to since I won one. Do you think that becomes an easy way to get back into an easier class?
I don't think it's easier. I really don't. I think it's people that there's some that have less experience. It's like kind of getting your first run at it. But I don't think it's easier. I really don't. If anything, you're going harder, and
and there's potentially more entries.
Yeah,
too. I know that's how it works with our No Limit World Finals. Like I almost am like, I wish I was in the pro class because making the A mains a little bit maybe easier because there's less drivers. It's not like 150 trucks. It's 30 trucks. It's a way different to move your way up through the bracket.
Yep.
But they're wicked fast too. But you have the wicked fast guys in the normal class too. So the non-pro. Yeah, I don't know how you want to do that.
So the only issue is I don't want the top class, the quote unquote top class, the defending champions and the, people that have done it since day one. I don't want that to get to be 12 trucks because that'll be really hard to get through all that content, right? Like I like having it pared down a little bit.
Yeah.
We could always do it like this.
I think you're always going to have some people that are just too busy too. Like I was just too busy this particular time to do it.
Right.
Because that's one of the things, guys. Like at some point you just got to say good is good enough. Like, cause you will find yourself out for a weekend trying to get a better run.
Yeah.
Then go back the next weekend after you've fixed everything and try to get a better run. Like you can spend a lot of time
and money
trying to get the run. And so it's kind of like one of those things like, in real life, they get the one shot at it. We're going for like the multiples. One time at some point, it'd be cool to try and do a live something where everybody zooms in and then you pull them up and let them show their run or whatever, since it's static. That way you get the one shot,
Yeah.
But because you can do that, you can waste a lot of time. And so I could tell some people, they said, that's my run. I'm going to call it good.
Yeah.
And I commend them for that as well. But yeah, Zach, nice run. Sorry I didn't give you 9. You can still sleep well. It was a really, really killer run.
Yeah, it's Ryan B saying mine was filmed at a lunch break. It's funny because like
that's how I did mine last time.
Yeah,
the painters were here. They were painting the house.
I always feel bad because I always give myself I'm like, all right, it's the morning of the due date, and I'm just gonna run it till it breaks, and that's it. And that's pretty much how it is. And like this time, my son, I haven't even driven the LMT yet. Like I took it on in a straight line down and back to see if it was running. And then I handed it off to him and I was like,
don't break it, bro.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but it's a blast. So circling back to my October, what's coming in October.
Yeah.
I'm debating October being possibly the last one or maybe switching it to once a year.
Okay.
And if it's the last one, which I think I'm kind of leaning that way, I'm going big for this October. So now that I understand how the companies like I've talked to a couple companies, and it was interesting because they're asking for a lot more lead time to get in on
the event.
Yeah, and these are bigger companies, right? I'm talking big names. So I think I'm going to go out big in October. And, it's tough because I really want to compete, and I can't compete in these anymore. So when the other guys are having them, I'll be jumping in on theirs when I can. But
Yeah.
it's just too much to compete and do it and edit it all together and design new packages every time and all that kind of stuff. But I love it, and I think it's a lot of fun. But I think this next one's going to be a big one, and it might tie up the laces, man. Put it in the
Ooh.
center. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Pass
Give
the
it one
torch.
last go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the other thing is,
You got to run in your last one.
yeah, maybe. Well, the other thing is though, is that I feel that when this event started, it was when people it meant something different, right? When people were kind of at home, they couldn't get out and do much, and we were doing it, building the community because you couldn't get out and race. There were no races, there were no
Right.
freestyles.
Yep.
And now, life is getting back to normal, and I'm very thankful, and I'm glad everyone's blessed to be out there doing that. And so now it's like, what, get out and play. Like,
Yep.
And October is a tough one because of weather. Weather always sucks for everyone in October. But it's a lot of fun. So I enjoy it. Thanks, LVCRC,
Yeah.
for that, man.
I was gonna say, Garrett, how hard are the cyclones? Since you didn't get one in this competition in your run, are they hard to set up and get going? I've always wondered. I haven't been able to get one except for like a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done one where it was intentional.
Yeah.
And that's so many of the moves. When you get into this, that's part of what I was trying to say earlier that I wanted to come back to is, I noticed that wasn't one of the moves he did, and that would have been one of the showstopper type moves as well.
Yeah.
And maybe that he did have some that had that, but he just went for the one he chose because he knew that
Stoppy
bicycle,
would do it.
the moonwalk was legit.
Yeah. Yep.
So
He says rear steer helps a ton.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yep.
I believe it.
So,
well, that's awesome. Well, JB Scale Graphics sent me a message during all this, confirming what his prize package would do.
What's going on, John?
Looks like each class winner will be getting a Bigfoot Cruiser graphics kit.
Oh, nice.
Which is sweet. And then Scale Metal Supplies. So Scale Metal Supplies and I had been talking about designing a wheelie bar relocation for the LMT, and that will be a short run, and the winners will be getting that also. Ooh. So, because I
like the sound of that.
Yeah, I feel that the wheelie bar kind of looks like a dinosaur tail.
Yeah, it does.
It's a little too long. So
yeah, it works pretty well though.
Oh, it works great. But I think for what most, like Ryan B had a shortened one on there or had it off.
Yeah, and or if you even just do the stock ones where it's, real tight up and close. I mean, you're watching what LVC was doing, Garrett, and he was just standing up and just
Did he have a stock one though?
No.
Yeah, he just took it off, right?
Yeah.
So
it gave him that upright kind of just ability to walk on it. I took mine off.
Yeah. So that's
except on my race truck.
Yeah.
I left it on.
So that's
sometimes
what
I get a little trigger happy and I don't want it to roll.
Zach says no wheelie bars on LMTs. Those are training wheels. I like it. Yep. So and
my LMTs are in a pile right now. Although I do have some new shocks that came in.
Ooh.
I run stock ones, and I think the piston came apart in one of them, and the other one, the rod end broke off. Somebody else was driving it at a monster truck show, and we were just trying to put on a show for the crowds. Again, you just destroy everything at that point. He'd gone through all his trucks, and I was like driving my Max, and it would not die. So I'm like, dude, just drive my LMT.
Yeah,
and it ripped off which I don't know how people do that. I've not really ever had that happen where I rip off the rod end at the bottom, but I did have the piston or something on my last.
I saw that
freestyle.
Pull out.
Yeah, I think it just unscrewed or something. That's happened before. I've seen. That's what it looked like to me. that's what the fail looked like. So
Zach saying a shock piston E-clip is a common problem for him.
yeah.
So,
and I've never had that happen yet. I know we had one of the trucks when we were making the video have that happen.
Yeah.
But it happened before we ran it. I think we had to. Luckily, Kevin Hitmansky was there and knew right what to look for.
So like I said, I haven't driven mine yet, really. And I ordered the axle since my son snapped my axle on it. And I was like, okay, I was crossing my fingers that I'd get it by today. And I got an email saying, sorry, something happened. You might, it might ship on Friday. And I was like, curses.
Man, I should have sent you one. I have one.
It's all good. It's coming. I got that, and I got the servo saver. I'll run the 25 tooth one for that way I can run it on the raw 500. Yeah. That way when my son pokes the wall like he did, it's okay.
Yeah.
So Lurch
in the trunk. Yeah.
Lurch says it's time for bed. Thanks again. He had a blast with the interweb comp. Good job.
Nice run, man.
Yeah, nice job.
Glad I was able to go back and put the score in, because I had changed I'd put low score in because I thought that it was missing one of the tricks, and I thought we were supposed to just kind of, I wasn't sure how that was being scored. And then you clarified that it would be taken out later. So I just gave it the score that the run, not thinking about those points, deserved.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was interesting.
I was just a fan at that point, so it didn't help a whole lot, but
Yep. I really like this system of scoring. I think this system is like it works well. So like these are my judges that I highlight. And then I can click on so I have a program that exports all the comments to an Excel sheet. So I can just click on the column and say, give me the average of all that column. And
yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah.
That's really helpful for you.
Very, very helpful.
It's not an easy thing to put it together. So thank you for doing it for the RC monster trucks. I'm still looking forward to getting mine out. The other thing was I wasn't sure on weather here in March. I was a little afraid, and I didn't want to get frustrated, because you can get frustrated trying to get a good run as well. It can be a frustrating experience.
So Zach's asking what the rest of the kids' score was. I'll announce it here. I didn't want to say
on blast.
Yeah, just because they're kids. So let's see here. Hold on. DRG. Hold on. Colby.
Yeah, nobody wants to know if they were last or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, when they're younger.
So Sophia got a 28.4. So she was just out of third place by 0.6. Colby had 29. And then Olivia, she's super proud. She got 27.1, but
awesome.
Still good. Yeah. So
they were all really good. I was impressed by all the kids.
Yeah. And it's cool seeing the kids, have more than one attempt at it. It's like, this would be Olivia. So October will be Olivia's last one, because she's aging out of the kids class. My son, Dalton, he still has, if we kept it going, he's only turning 8. So he's 7 right now. So
yeah,
he's doing all right for being 7. So
yeah.
And I think once he gets more wheel time on that truck, I think he'll be doing all right.
I wonder if it'll ever get to, like, when we raced BMX, there was multiple classes, right?
Yeah.
So either based on, you had age, you had every age group,
right?
But then you had like beginner, expert, novice,
right,
per age group, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll ever get to that. Maybe not so much the ages, but because it's hard. Like, as people get better and better to start. Now I know that there's certain people you watch. The West Coasters, and I think a rookie won the freestyle, and stuff like that. So, it just makes it hard when you first start to want to keep coming back when you're just getting destroyed.
Yeah, totally.
And we do a stock class to help with that.
Yeah,
but the problem with the stock class is all the big boys still buy a stock truck and run them super fast.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
and it's hard with the RC stuff too, because like with the kids class, I like to say just whatever the kid can get in and drive, just let them do it. But I wonder if there needs to be a juniors class. I wonder if that would I don't know.
Well, I mean, you see the kids in the real racing. I mean, the young guys can destroy the big boys.
I know.
So
Right?
it's hard to do it by that. It's
Right.
almost more like after so many wins, you have to move up to like the next class. And so you can stay in, the novice pro mod or novice mod or whatever you want to call it, until you hit 3 wins or whatever.
Well,
and then at that point you're good enough that you can be in the bigger one. But I don't know how you do it.
Well, it's like Outlaw's son.
And I don't want to come up with a way to do it either.
I know, right? So Outlaw's son, when he won, I think 14, maybe.
Yep.
And he won the Mysterios class when he was 14. So, and then he competed the next one with the pro class or the Hefe class. So,
and he's a good driver. You see him running a lot of his videos.
For sure. For sure. So it's like, how do you decipher that? Do you just go by age on the internet? I'm not checking the birth certificates.
Well, I think that some of the two, even the aged one, you say, okay, you've won enough. You're aged out of the age, like there was a kid in No Limit that was wicked fast, but he could just sit in and dominate the Pee Wee class because he was a racer, man.
Yeah.
But he fit the bill for being in that class, but he was driving as fast as we were.
Yeah, exactly.
But, for their own sake, it gives them competition, pushes them. Also might help teach them how to lose.
Yeah.
Gracefully.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool, man.
It's a tough thing to decide how people want to set that up. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be the one to have to choose that, but I always wonder how we can make it so it's more inclusive. But I think what you're doing is good. You have multiple classes, and you're saying it's not the entry level class with the Mysterios, and I get that.
Right.
But you're also not technically competing against Big America in that class.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, or LVC,
Yeah.
So it's not beginner. It's not easy, but
and it's racing realistically. So it's like, it's anybody's race, right? It's, and sometimes it comes down to showmanship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and because I think the first time
I remember Big America's first one when he did that trailer that he smashed through, boom, that won it for me right away. I'm like, and there's your winner, folks. That was wicked.
I know, right? Yep. He did a backflip that caught the front, like a roll backflip that caught the front end and flipped it back over in the SMT 10. This was before the LMT
days,
And then he crashed through a trailer or a RV with powder in it. Or no, it wasn't powder, just a bunch of like cut up cardboard.
Yeah.
And it was like
flying.
Everyone So, but I mean,
but overall, the whole thing's getting harder and harder because you watch Instagram, people are just nailing the freestyle stuff now. Like to do a moonwalk nowadays is like,
well, and
it's not as impressive because you go on Instagram, you see people knocking that out all the time. It's still hard to link it with all the other tricks in 90 seconds, but
well, and I wonder what the LMT has done to that, right? Like, to be honest,
there's so much finesse and control.
Well, and to be honest, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid until I saw my son drive it. Like, I really didn't. I was like, it's cool, but I can do cool stuff with the SMT. And then seeing my son drive the LMT, I was just like, wow. Like, it was impressive to see the control he could have with it. And we didn't even dial the ESC in. Like, I was asking you about that, but I didn't even spend the time to do it. Like, it was just set up. So it's our LMT set up with the Baja Ray motor and ESC. So it's the same ESC that comes with the LMT, like the 130 amp or whatever it is, the Firma.
Yeah.
But then the motor is a 3800, not a 33 or whatever.
So you got a little bit more. So on 2S, you got a little bit more even.
Yeah. And it was getting after it. And we were just running those Ovonic. Mario asked what battery we were running. And I thought it was the shorty pack because I had one of those on the Charger, but I just had a normal long pack.
5,000.
Yeah, 5200. Yep. 50C battery pack in there, and he was whipping it around with that. So,
comments wise, I'm scrolling back through some. I see Alex, Zach. Hey, Alex, we need to hook up. You all should do a once a month run. Then all 12 trucks that win go to the World Finals in October. That would be cool, but very hard to do. That would be like, it would be somebody's full-time job for the month pretty much in order to run it and do all the video stuff.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big undertaking for Pablo to do. And then you got to get people to vote or to judge. That's the hard part, is like organizing and mobilizing.
And especially like right now, like it's super late for people on your side, and it's it's only 9 o'clock my side, so and I'm talking about other country.
Well, and then you do it, even like submitting by certain times, and then that throws off either one side or the other based on where you live, and and it comes down to that wire a lot of times. For whatever reason, you have a whole month to do it, but
Well, and today,
you just got me this file 20 minutes before we went live.
Right, yeah, and the scary thing, I was sweating
Still
bullets.
pissed at you about that.
Sorry. No, just kidding. Well, and like I sent it, like I uploaded it.
I love the idea though, Zach. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
well, I uploaded it at like 4 o'clock this afternoon or whatever time it was, and I was like, it's processing. Good luck. And then I just kept on refreshing, and 7:30, you're like, I think I can download it.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm hurting for because I've been doing so much. I mean, I do a ton of stuff, and that's part of why I wouldn't have been ready. My LMTs are spent. All my monster trucks are spent. And people are like, well, why not just fix them? Like, we got all ours fixed up. It's like, well, I don't only do RC monster trucks. It's one of 100 RCs that I'm trying to maintain, and people want to know about it. They want to see stuff on, and it's like, even getting them ready for what's a huge event at World Finals is tough. I'm trying to carve out time this week. Everybody else is posting pictures of their finished trucks, and I'm like, okay, now it's the week of the event. Now I can devote time to it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man. And then I broke my Pro C by using the wrong electronics cleaner on it. And it broke the plastic acrylic cage around it. And who knows what other plastics it's weakened. That's going to be tomorrow's test.
Yeah.
I'll get a battery. I forgot to get in the receiver. That's what I needed today. I bought wheels and tires or wheels and some other stuff, but not. I'll steal it from something. But yeah. So it's tough, and everybody's dealing with that, and that's where they've got their regular racing, they've got even doing it twice a year is tough, and because you always think just one more shot at it, I can do a better run, one more, and you end up you waste a lot of time, and the stress of it, there's a lot of factors that would make 12 months tough. Unless you found a way to just everybody get on a live stream together and
and I think also it would have to be super watered down, you know what I mean, at 12 or I mean, and I don't mean to be going after that 12 one, but I mean at having that much frequency, it couldn't be flashy, it couldn't be the bumpers, all that kind of stuff, because people don't. One of the things that I don't think people realize is those bumpers, for instance, when I posted the videos on Instagram, right, just to render out the lower third names, that takes time, right? You you're okay, type it in, blah, 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 do the graphics, hit render, and you sit there and walk away and come back in 5 minutes, and then it's rendered out. So it's
what are you editing it in?
What am I editing in? LumaFusion. LumaFusion, I do all the video drop in, and then After Effects, I do all the graphics in it. So.
You After Effects it.
Ouch. Yeah. Ouch is right. Ouch is right.
Dude, because you're talking about rendering, I'm like, man, I haven't rendered them forever. Final Cut just renders in the background.
Yeah.
So when you're ready to export, it's
yeah.
I export those 20-minute YouTube videos in
but
10 to 15 minutes.
But are you doing?
It doesn't matter if I do graphics, because by the time I'm editing, it's
already rendered out.
Yeah, and I also buy plugins that have all the animated stuff.
Yeah.
I have all those little animated things that say,
right,
read description, whatever. But it's just overlaid. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the easiest, simplest, and they're clean and nice.
Well, that's how some of mine are, but they're very rich in After Effects. So after I edit the settings to it, they still have to render out for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, these do, but they probably, even if I hit render, would take 30 seconds because it's not that rich. It still has a lot of animation, but anyway, we can talk. There's some cool, quick setups you could do for it, especially if you get that new computer.
Yeah. That would be nice to have something that powerhouse at the house. So not because that's the problem. I can do
XJ Sport 95. Hey, Alex again.
So, the thing is, I could do crazy stuff if I was able to sit at my desktop at the shop and do it. But 90% of what I'm doing is on this, an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
And I do all my editing on that. And, I'm running my MacBook Pro here, but it's an older version. It's not the new one. But yeah, if we did get a new one. Mario was asking, it's a chance to get your drift feed back up and back in the upcoming comp soon. Drift, I think he just means like get my legs underneath. So I'm going to try to comp an Oz Monsters comp. I don't know if you saw that on the gram. He's trying to do, his is different. His is like a race kind of Penda styles and then also a 2-wheel skills thing. So I'm going to try it out. You basically set up a straight line, have a couple hits, and then I'm not sure what we're doing for the two-wheel skills thing yet, but I definitely have to pick your brain on how to set that ESC in the LMT if I'm going to use that, or if I'm going to use. I've got a half-built black market right now, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. It's SMT based, so I got to figure out if that's going to be like a freestyle, or I don't have racing. There's racing starting up out here, but it's a long ways away.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to run down there and do it. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you can set up for both.
Yeah.
Freestyle it. But I see Jeff Brown, not Jeff. It was Jeff Walter asked, is there any Monster Jam freestyle rules that I can look and what is required on the track? Every track is different.
Yeah.
There's really not, for the freestyle, there's not a whole lot of rules except for whether or not they can flip over and how many times they flip over. But the rest is usually you get judges that score out of 10, average it, 3 judges, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some places I go to have nothing that you can do a backflip off of, and you're just basically hitting jumps and big airs and hit after hit after hit. Other ones have more low technical stuff. I prefer what you're doing and what everybody here is doing with these smaller setups for freestyle, honestly, than the big ones with the big air jumps.
Yeah.
I know it's not as showy for people to come and watch. It is and it isn't.
Well, you have to have a second
you do
camera.
A lot of the cool trucks.
Yeah, if you're doing the huge jumps and stuff like that,
he's talking for like in person.
Right.
Like he's setting up a track for people to come and race and freestyle at. So I mean, it's really up to what you want, whether you just put out some kickers, you do some backflip stuff, just some things to hit and let people go crazy off of.
So what's your thought of next? So I've kind of tossed this around too on my next one, not having required hits.
Oh, I think it helps. It can't, you can't pull out a run from before.
Yeah.
Is a possible thing.
Yeah.
And I know you say you have elements that are in there, but I have several other runs that will have Halloween elements in it. If you know what I mean, like, if we keep doing it year after year, what changes it is what kind of elements you make somebody do. And it makes you have to think about adding it in your run.
Right.
So I like it, but
yeah, I don't know if that's is too difficult for people, or you know what I mean? Like, I like it. I think it's nice because it changes it up and it makes you take a risk.
Yeah, like
You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think you could do a cyclone as a requirement, but like
Yeah.
there's other ones that you could make people have
A,
to try to go for.
a
Front
bicycle.
flip is different,
Yeah.
or a bicycle, even if it's a little one, it gets everybody trying to do a little
Yeah.
something that gets them on two wheels.
Yeah.
Whether it's a quick and done, that's still,
Yeah.
I thought because a donut can be tough
Yeah.
depending on where you are. I mean, I probably could do donuts with mine on the asphalt here, just because the LMT turns so much if you do the stock tires. But
Right. Right.
if you change the tires, I had a dickens of a time with the J Concepts Renegades doing donuts.
Oh, yeah. Those have a super grip on them.
Yep. But if you do the other ones, the stock tires, donuts for days,
Yeah. Zach says a combo as a requirement. I like that. I like
That would
having
be
a combo.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard as a judge though, right? Like it's so hard because you have to like propagate all these different scenarios, right? Because it's like as a judge, what do you consider a combo? Like how much dead time is in between, blah, 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 all that kind of, it's like, and and you're not going to make everyone happy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of like, oof, how do you approach that? But I love the idea of a combo. Yeah. And so what Ozmonster's doing, he's actually setting up criteria for his track. Like the ramp has to be this wide by this tall. And
that's hard to get people in.
Yeah, I think so. But
I think one of the things that Kevin Talbot did, which was the first one of these that I saw, and participated in, was he limited the track size to like 20 by 20 that you could do in a garage because they weren't allowed to be outside.
Oh, right.
And so for other people that could be outside, it was whatever a 1-car garage was.
Yeah.
Was the size that you were allowed to do.
I'll have to go back and see his because I've heard of his before, but I never saw it.
Yeah.
I never saw his, and because I remember Trailer Trash was telling me about he did it, I thought.
And I chose to just be different, and I used the Sen B50.
Right.
Because it could do bicycles and stuff that other ones couldn't. And so I was going to try and do that trick that I was doing with it. I mean, because I could bicycle that thing for days. Like I could just drive it around in a bicycle.
Yeah.
Just because the way the diff worked and all the diffs together and the tires ballooning is just, you could just sit there and drive it and you could turn it and go in circles on it. It was so cool. But it was also bouncy and looked more scale in that kind of a small, space. I just liked it. But
yeah, I thought about the idea of having a retro class, but I don't really think you could do much with a retro. Like with the stockish Clodbuster.
For freestyle, it'd be tough.
Yeah, be kind of boring.
Yeah,
but
unless you did it like MTRC.
I love those videos.
Those are so good.
I love those videos.
It just looks so scale.
I know. I love those videos. Maybe I'll do the race with the Ozmonsters with my Clodbuster.
I want to get, if I don't get any other racing going here, I want to get retro racing going here because it's just so much fun. Do maybe something like MTRC where we just get a couple people together with some Clodbusters and some crushed cars and a few small jumps and just race them. But
I need to figure out, like, I know there's people around me, a few people that have them, and that group is getting it together down south, but it's like a 2-hour drive, and the distance isn't so bad. It's that where you have to go through, the traffic is horrendous. It is horrendous. And so for me, I'm like, I don't think it's worth it to get down there. But I'd really like to go and try out one of these days. I just don't want to catch the bug and then have to drive down there every month.
Zach Suarez says retro racing is fun. John Martin RC says, I'm in, Tony. They really are. They're my favorite racing one. I just like that smaller jump. And I like any racing too that can be competitive for just about everybody.
Yeah.
Like anybody can show up with a retro and beat you. And in a lot of our class, it used to be that way. I can't say that it's that way anymore, but that's how it used to be. Is like,
it's like a
given day, somebody could,
and that's what I think.
Ours isn't, but you have spec motors and they let it get away from spec pinions and other things where it just got
a little crazy.
Yeah. And so then I was doing it to mine because, you're trying to keep up. But
Right.
it basically was, I went to a different group and everybody was already, pushing pinions. And so I started getting the pinions for mine. So, but yeah, I just like it and I like them to have the log stacks and stuff where it just makes everybody, and that's where it can be anybody can win because you can hit it just for whatever reason, hit it wrong and you roll over.
Yeah.
But
Black Market saying he drove 237 miles one way in 2020 just to race.
Dang.
Dude, I saw his new carbon chassis. That looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
That carbon chassis looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
Super cool. Super cool.
He sent a picture of it jumping to me. It looked really cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'd love to try to do something like that. So, and now it's going to be even harder because we have the LMT in our stable, because I was thinking about running a not a stock motor, but running a spec motor in the house where the kids would have, they both have SMT 10s, and then I'd have my Black Market SMT 10, based, and I would, say we'd run, I don't know, 3,300 kV brushless or whatever, and then same battery, and then we're just running drag races or doing turns in the track, all that kind of stuff. I think that would be fun, but I don't think my kids would want to beat dad all the time. So they probably want to get out and get someone else. So
he's saying he drove that much 5 times. He drove that far.
That's crazy talk.
So is he NorCal going to SoCal?
Or vice versa? Zach saying the carbon chassis is even more impressive in person. I bet.
I think he's NorCal.
I don't know.
But yeah. So I got to get mine ready, and I don't know exactly what I'm taking yet. I just bought one of those OGO bags, the 9800s Central going to NorCal. Okay. Because I'm trying to maybe take a third truck.
Oh,
so
wow.
I figure I'm definitely taking my LMT. And at this point, it's probably going to be my Gravedigger one, because I'm going to be running a Gravedigger truck. So they have a whole Gravedigger class that they're going to have there. It's like, I don't know, because of 40 years of Gravedigger, it's 40th anniversary. So everybody in this class, it's going to be a race where it's only Gravediggers racing and freestyling. So that's one of the events for the weekend. And I think that one's going to be my LMT.
Yeah.
And then in the other one, I plan to run my freestyle. So several people are running multiple trucks in the event. They're racing twice. I'm only racing one truck. So I think they have me as like the designated last place guy. I think that's my role in the event, is to be the guy that comes in last so that none of them have to.
Yeah.
But when I first was going anyway, I was not going to race 2 years ago when COVID hit. I was going to go and race the primals. So I bought a primal and other people didn't have a primal. And so that was how I was going. And then I was just going to film the other stuff and get, tons of cool footage.
How do you get down there? Like, because there's people from NorCal going.
You fly.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, how do you get asked? Is there a form? Like, how do you?
It's an invitation. Thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I don't know exactly how, like, some people can't make it every, there was an opening, which is how I got in, I believe. So, and then, but yeah, originally I wasn't going to be a racer. I was just going to race the primals. But I am taking my Bari build down there, and Bari's going to have his, I believe. And that new primal is supposed to be there. They just announced today the new Gravedigger.
I heard something about it yesterday when you guys were talking, and I haven't seen any pictures of it or anything.
I believe that they're going to have it to show at the event.
Are there pictures or is it just announced?
So there's an outline, but it could be anything. It looks like a drawing, the outline actually. So I can't wait to see it. Like, I'm super stoked. Super stoked.
Would
When
it
they
be
first started talking about it, they talked to me about it a while back, and I was geeked, but I wasn't sure if it would happen because of failed licensing, all kinds of stuff. So I'm super excited that it's happening.
Is it gas or is it electric?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it says 49cc on the page. It's like they have a special edition one that's $4,000, has extra upgrades and all this stuff to it. The other one, I believe, well, I think the other one is 4,000 and that one's 4,500 with the upgrades. But there's like a $200 pre-order.
JM saying it's gas or electric.
No, he's asking, is it gas or electric?
Oh,
I can pull it up.
Do it. What are you waiting for,
pull
Tony?
It up here.
Come on.
Because they just posted it. RC.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's not Primal RC.
Whoa,
what was that picture?
What kind of website is
kind
that?
Of advertising going on there.
Advertising?
Yeah. Basically.
It's primal.
It wasn't theirs. I did a search and it popped up. All right, so here. That's just a generic Primal RC Monster Jam. Oh yeah, see, they're unveiling it live at the Monster Jam World Finals Pit Party in Orlando, May 21st.
Sweet.
So I will get to see it.
It says Gravedigger on it.
So standard edition. It's going to have a Gravedigger body. So this one gets CNC ball bearings, steering link mounts, steering turnbuckle links, long turnbuckle links. Those are probably special colors and stuff.
How many do you think they have ready to go for pre-order?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. Several hundred, because this one's limited to collector's edition, because they're doing it where they're only going to have a certain amount. And then you're going to get a little plaque that goes with it. Or at least that's one. So this accidentally got leaked. They had it up on their page on accident. It wasn't supposed to be up. And it said some stuff on there. 80 pounds.
Jeez.
Only 200 trucks. So there's 200 of this one. Once they're gone, they're gone. I'm guessing that with this Gravedigger body on it, you're going to get more people that are going to be willing to just drop cashola. Like the Gravedigger. Yeah. There's the fan base of Gravedigger is huge. And I think that there's enough of them out there that would be willing to drop just the cash to have it, not knowing even anything about it, just that big of a substantial Gravedigger. I'm trying to figure out how to save up.
I know, right? I was just going to say, Primal RC, if you need some neon signage, some custom signage, hit me up. We'll work a trade. That would be, dude, that would be epic. Like, yeah. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that rumor, Jeff. I just got a work thing for September about a meeting thing. But not that they're watching here. Yeah, there may be some shakeups, some big news coming on that front.
Shakeups?
My work front.
Oh.
And what I'm going to try and do.
Nice.
So we'll see.
That's cool. Shakeups.
See if we can't do this thing full time somehow.
That'd be cool. Yeah. So what'd you get new? I saw your wall of Tony CCXRC.
Yeah, just some some of it's generic stuff, but a lot of the Furatech stuff I have in. But a lot of that's to go in the monster trucks, like the lizards and So the goal is those mini monster trucks to sell them basically almost ready to run without the radio and the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be ready to just plug in your receiver and radio and drive it. I'll have already tested it with mine.
Right.
In fact, I just ordered 6 sets of ECB 3D printing silver wheels from eBay.
Nice.
So they're about $30 a pop shipped, so $180 that I have just in the wheels for that. Then I got to get the tires from AMT. So it's not a cheap build.
I saw you had shocks on the wall. Are those the telescoping shocks or are those single stage?
I do. And the cool thing about these telescoping shocks, I just put them on my son's truck today because we were in a rush to get out to Jeff Brown's place at Reaction.
Nice.
So I could do a video on this guy here that I just finished, which is my Mofo RC Ugly AF with no shock springs on it at all. It just sits. We drive them so slow. It's not like I'm using suspension.
Right.
However, I think I need the stock springs on it for just that little bit. So when you get like in this type of a situation and you don't have shocks, it fully compresses. And if I just had that little bit of pushback, it might keep it from wanting to go over. So that's what I did on my son's truck with those new shocks that we got in. Even though I have Enduro ones for his, but I didn't have time to put all the little rubber things on and on the ball cups and all that. So they have to be built. Where the ones that I have are pre-assembled.
Nice.
And you literally just screw them on. Except that I unscrewed the bottoms, took the shock springs off, and put on the stock springs. But that was fast.
Yeah.
So, and they work great. His truck was handling awesome. I'm
cool.
a big fan of these double barrels. Not everybody loves them, but again, I'm only selling a few things that I actually run myself, so that I can walk into the closet, grab something off the shelf, throw it in the truck. So I have the overdrives coming, the 23%. I run that in the front of all my comp trucks.
Nice.
It's not as smooth, but man, having that overdrive up front is so helpful.
I heard you talking about those tires. What's your thoughts?
I like them a lot.
Better than scramblers?
No.
I like the way they look better than scramblers.
I would agree. And so the problem with these wide tires, like these and the little guy racing ones, is that they hit the shocks when you turn them all the way. And they actually unscrew the shocks so that your shocks come apart on the trail. Happened to my son, and I came in tonight and mine was half unscrewed.
Oh, wow.
So the knobs on it just catch it, and they, under compression, spin it. Like the little preload thing was all the way sitting at the bottom because it had unscrewed that.
Right.
And then it went to, so I just Loctited it, and I'm hoping if Loctite doesn't do it, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on it, and
there you go.
Hopefully that'll solve the problem. But
so are you so I started getting into that chassis again today. Okay. On the computer. Are you running C10 links front and rear, or are you doing
C10
deadbolt
front,
back?
deadbolt rear?
Okay.
It's my favorite combination, and I was so excited when I saw the Gladiator coming out because I thought that the Gladiator was running deadbolt rear and C10 fronts, and they went longer than that.
Yeah.
Which is good, but I wanted to be able to just buy link setups from already done, because right now I have to buy high clearance links for the deadbolt and for the C10, and then I just have a bunch of unused deadbolt fronts. And
well, that was the problem that I was running into looking at the geometry today. I can't find a file to print that C10 top link. I don't know why no one has it, but I can't find that file. And
really?
it's like I could design it. I didn't want to have to design it.
Just look for the Jeep one.
That no one has that 3 link, that Y thing on online to download it to print it. And I was like, seriously?
Well, that's just crazy talk.
I know, right? Because I have that extended axle or drive lines, and I have all those parts for it. I just I don't have that top one, so I couldn't do anything with it. So I'm like, golly.
It's a great setup. I will say that, and I know several people that do it. Now, I will say that if you go to Mofo RC, who I'm a big fan of his parts and his stuff. In fact, this is running. It's a Mofo RC chassis, and it's a Mofo Nano Beast motor. First time running it, really smooth. Really liked it. And then it is also running his Black Label servo, which, again, I have my own servos coming, but I will still. I'll never just be like, buy my stuff. I'm not that guy.
Sure.
It's a really good servo. I really liked it, and the price is decent on them. And I think it's one worth looking for if you're not willing to drop the full amount for like a Reefs one. It's not quite my 99 micro. Not many are,
Right.
but it's very solid. So. But yeah, so that's what this is running, and it allows it to have that clearance that you were asking about for the servo, because this is a longer servo,
right?
Like Reefs,
right?
It's a little bit longer.
Oh yeah,
and I get full compression.
Well, that was the
bottom
thing.
Out with no hitting.
Yeah, that was the thing that I was noticing. If I ran the deadbolt front, it would hit the back of the servo, but with the C10 front, I have all clearance.
Yeah. See how I cut mine up to see the servo horn sticking out, kind of did little fang things.
I was going to say, it looks like a snake bite.
Yep. Exactly what I was going for. That snake bite with the, but
I like it.
I really like this body. It's the Cliffhanger by Proline.
Yeah.
If you're going to run big tires and you don't want them to rub, even this, I had to add a little clearance for it for turning.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting in that belly dragger, and that's part of the reason I had to cut this so much was when I turn all the way, it's still pop, 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 you hear it hitting.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get rid of that fang look, so it's just going to make noise the few times I have to hard turn it all the way.
Yep. You need to start vacuum forming more 1/24th crawler bodies, because it's painful to spend $30 on a Proline body when you can spend $30 on a 110 Proline body.
Oh, I don't know of any 1/10 Proline bodies anymore.
Well,
anything I buy 1/10 scale is
like
50 or 60 bucks.
Yeah. No,
so
I stand corrected. I get it, but yeah.
But you're paying for the licensing, and they have really good sticker packs in them now. This Proline, like the window wraps, and they do the whole bed, and they've got like the little red. I don't have the red one. I have a RC Amigo sticker back there.
Ooh, look at that.
They have a fuel cell in there. The sticker pack is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so, like, mine are cheaper, but mine don't come with fuel cells.
Yeah.
Or I don't even have window stickers. Like, you got to blue masking tape your windows out on mine right now.
Yeah.
I did them for the Max D for myself. But yeah, I just photoshopped them, but there's a lot of work and stuff that goes into all that extra stuff, and stickers. Well, getting the clear stickers printed is not a cheap endeavor,
and especially if you want them to be good ones.
Well, even for my servos that I'm getting, I'm paying $1 per servo just for stickers that be made and put on it.
Wow.
Pretty much. It was about $1.
They're not etched?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
No.
Crazy.
Not these ones.
Yeah.
There might be one that's etched.
Eventually.
Yep. But these ones are, and I think that was $1. It has 2 stickers on it. So, but still, it's not like.
No.
That's not cheap.
Not at all. It adds up fast.
Yeah.
When you have to buy 500 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Peter Yedica says, yes, that's been the best combo I've found. C10 fronts with deadbolt rears. It's not too long. You can still make corners. That's the other reason that this body's good for it. And see how the tires now stick out in front of it? So clearance for days.
Yeah.
As far as your approach angle, because I have no bumper on this. It's just snake fangs.
What's in the box? Good morning.
But yes, so I have I do have steering links. Speaking of,
Oh, you got them
not
in?
steering. No, I have high clearance links.
Oh,
I don't know which one this is.
I was
for.
gonna buy your steering links, but you're out of stock, and I was like, dang it, Tony.
I know they're being made in brass this time.
Ooh, very nice.
And I'm also doing the servo mount in brass too.
Okay.
This time, just to be different. So,
I thought it was in brass last time. It seemed heavy. Nice.
No, it's not. So
I'm looking at Mofo's site right now. So he has front upper aluminum links.
Who does?
Mofo.
Oh yeah, and he does 4-link too.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, the 4-link. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Oh wait, these aren't my links. These are Enjora ones I bought. This is the leftovers from what I put on this truck. And they were 4-link. And actually, I thought the 4-link didn't work great, but it actually, there's plenty of flex in here. I mean, it's crazy flex.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did was in the Ecto, you have element stuff, but they have these little, it came with the body, I think. They're little plastic spacers for the screws that you screw into your body so that you don't like pull the screw through for all your little extra stuff. And those are awesome shock spacers so they aren't rubbing on the body, because you know how you get that rub and it creates like a binding point for your suspension working.
Right.
I've always just left my shocks loose and then like Loctited them to death.
Yeah.
And let it just kind of be sloppy to get rid of that. Or I would sometimes put an extra nut between it, or whatever. I have little cutoffs of straw or whatever I put between them.
Sure.
But yeah, I saw these sitting in on my desk over there when I was working, and I put them on. It's awesome.
You know what I've used?
They're not actually on this one. They're on my son's. But
not on the 124th, but on the bigger scale ones. I've used, you know how every servo you get comes with those rubber servo mount, squarish servo.
Oh yeah,
mount?
yeah, those would work great.
I've thrown those on them, and I'm like, ooh, this is almost. And you could tighten it, and it's pretty rad for sure. For sure.
Derek, if you make a mount to set the servo back a bit, you have more clearance in front and don't have to notch the body, even with a plus 10 millimeter stretch wheelbase. Nice.
Can you put the servo ears on the backside of your mounts?
Does that
work on yours?
Well, you always could, because you could just thread and put a nut behind it. You could just thread through the mount and then put a nut on the screw behind if you wanted. But yeah, so that is the weird thing with a lot of these is and even on this one, I'm running a nut on the back of the servo horn, because usually you go in and you screw in from the back. Well, the problem was that this servo horn has such big holes in it that you can't fit the screw through the links. So I had to use the M14 links or screws, and then I had to put a nut on the back. So I just went through from the front this time. But typically I would come from the back and screw through
like the stock ones are. Yeah.
So you saw I was designing. So that's something else. I totally forgot that I have those coming. I've ordered so much junk. So I designed a servo horn that's M1.4 that's threaded in from the backside, so that from all these steering links you thread in, which would not work if I offset the servo back anymore, because then the thread's in the wrong direction.
Right.
But I've just found that in a lot of them, I ended up using the plastic one because I could basically just get bite and thread it through from the backside. So I'd literally take the link, attach it to the servo horn, center my servo by turning it all on, and then attach it while it's all attached, because you're not doing the typical way of having your link on the front side of the servo horn, which would be ideal if everything was set back, and this could be on the front of it. So Derek's right, that would be the ideal way to do it. And the Mofo one does allow you to set your servo back. It's got movable posts.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's got 4 holes on it on each side.
So you could set it back. And I'm actually running it. Well, the reason it has 4 holes is it takes 2 screws. So yeah, it gives you 3 options, probably 4 holes.
Yeah, because
you
he only
do
needs
2,
yeah.
or the 2 middle ones, or the back one and the middle one. Maybe I should do that. Now you guys have me thinking. Good suggestion, Derek.
There you go. I use old stripped out nylon wheel nuts off the old low C 124 RCs as shock spacers.
Those were great.
Perfect.
Yep.
Instant classics are the Proline, or Mario says, Proline bodies have been a lot of my instant classics. That Ram body is legit on the LMT. I need to find a better body for my LMT. So I put on the J-Con, I guess it's the Gravedigger.
What's up, Sean?
Gravedigger body. It's a little too small.
Oh yeah, SMT one.
Yeah, I want to put on a truck body, do a proper truck. I don't know which truck, but I want to do something along that line. Paint it up. I realized on this, that's why this one's just like a stock white paint, because I was like, 1, I wanted to look good on camera or easy to see on camera, and 2, I know it's going to be shredded in a minute. So there you go, Owen Rogers.
Yep, I'm all about that. Show everybody the love. That's why this truck, I did put my front brass diff covers on it, but I mean, all the rest of this is really mofoed out. That and Ninjora with the Power Hobby. It's a bit of everything.
What wheels are those? Those Ninjoras?
Power Hobby. These are the Trail Warriors. They're really nice.
Are they brass?
Oh, wait, wheels. No, these are Trail.
Okay.
I think. They're not marked. So they're
Amazon.
They're Amazons. I think they're actually Reaction RC Hobbies. That's where we bought them.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I got to get a set of wheels for my son's rig. So I was running scramblers on his, and it was too top heavy. I didn't like it, but I think I went with a better wheel that widened it out a little bit. It would be better. And I love my wheels that I've got, my brass wheels. I thought about getting the racing wheels that are just spun brass wheels, but I think he wants something a little more detailed.
Yeah.
But
one of my favorites are these UPWs by Mofo.
Mofo, yeah.
With all the different rings you can get for them.
I saw those too, yeah.
And I wanted to check because I got the Little Guy Racing parts has brass. Is it Little Guy Racing? No, it might be the guys that do the flubber stuffers. Somebody had brass rings that I bought to put on. They go on. They'll fit on their Trio stuff and other things. But
yeah.
JMRC's. I'm lost at. This is from earlier. I was going back through the comments because I knew that we'd missed them. How about threaded screw stock with end put on it? I'm not sure what we were talking about when you said that. I'd be curious to know though. Jeff Brown says he has CCXRC steering links for you.
Yeah.
He does have stock. Yeah.
That's the local hobby shop there.
Yeah.
Be a
do
little
you
bit
have
of
any
a drive.
tools left, Jeff? If anybody's looking for a tool, do you have any left?
Does he have a website?
Facebook.
Who Facebooks anymore? Just kidding. I know everybody Facebooks but me.
I only do it for RC, pretty much. RC for All stopped in. Sean's RC Adventures said hello. He was just stopping in quick. Earl Moorhead will work for free Primal RC discount. I missed that one. That's good. Jeff says he's gonna have a mini excavator. Yeah. Cool stuff.
Right on.
But yeah, the minis are still a big thing. So I have 200 more tools coming. I have the servos we talked about that are coming, and then steering servo horns for a different project in crazy bulk because I had to buy to get it custom designed had to be crazy bulk order. So luckily they were cheap. So ish. And I mean crazy bulk, I mean 500. That's
crazy.
Not the end of the world, but yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
But yeah, it there's a lot of little things. I realized I probably needed to get some stuff for the mini Komodos I have. I didn't get the pinions or the stuff for it. So
here's a question I have.
Yeah.
I haven't going along that lines with the baby Goliath arm. I'm going to call it the baby Goliath arm.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's baby Goliath.
That's a motor though.
I know, but will that fit the...
Oh yeah, you call it the baby... I thought you were talking about the servo arm. Like, okay, I get it now. Baby Goliath arm. Little beefy arm. Yeah. But we're not going with that because of Beef Tube's arm. You can't
Beef
have
Tubes has an arm?
looking. He's got those super muscle arms for Beef Tubes, like the two flexing, like vein riddled arms.
So the hole pattern on that, will that fit the stock SCX24 hole pattern, or is that like the barrage hole pattern that
It is stock.
Nice. That's a selling point, ladies
huge.
And gentlemen.
Yes. So I actually, and I don't want to, I know people that sell this, so I just bought a motor because I wanted to test it compared to Baby Goliath, which we have had an issue with. One of the people that I sent one to was having issues with it, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I got another brand motor, and it came with a motor plate, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. They, whatever. I'm not going to use it. It's a cool selling feature. You can get like a cool colored, version.
Sure.
And I went to just install the motor quick, and it's opposite,
right,
of the SCX24, and I'm like,
that's for like a barrage motor, yeah.
Because how many barrages are out there still?
Well, that's what I was running.
The 18th scale?
No, well, that's what I was running before all this FearTech stuff came out. I put barrage motors in mine.
But you had to change the motor plate.
I just drilled it out.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a pain still.
Yeah. So I thought this was quick swap. I'm going to just drop this motor in, test it, put mine back on, test it.
Yep.
No, I have to change the whole motor plate out in order to just put the motor on. Yeah, but the Baby Goliath, literally, I took the original stock one out, pushed the other one through the hole, screwed it up. I had to cut out my battery tray like always, but yeah, super easy.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to put that one in. I'm going to run that on the Lizard, not the Lizard Pro. I think it's
you should put it on the Lizard Pro and let me know if you have an issue, because that was a problem that we had.
Oh. Was it smoking on too much amperage or what?
No, it was stuttering.
Really?
Like if you just held the throttle full of, it sounded like he was letting off the throttle, but he wasn't. It was pulsing. And so I gave him my motor that was working great. I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Here's my motor. I know it works great. And he put it on, same problem. So, but somebody else that I know that has one that's testing is running it on a Lizard. So I don't know. And I think so he took it out finally and put it into a different truck that he had that I think is running the Tegu. He said TGE, and I don't know what that stands for, but I'm guessing Tegu.
Yeah, that's the one I have too. Yeah.
And he said that it was great. It was super smooth. Once he finally got it running, like, wow, like the low end's really smooth on it. And
yeah.
But the one problem we had was the Lizard. And I haven't tested it on it. I've only tested on, for me personally, on brush ones, because my goal with it was how can I save people money?
Yeah.
When we're upgrading all these, we're upgrading them to the, plus the idea of hopefully keeping more class 2.
Yeah.
If you don't do some of the upgrades. Although I don't think that upgrading your ESC puts you into class 3. It's going brushless does for our classes. But yeah, but trying to with these new ESCs that are out, like what could I build with it that would run super smooth on that ESC? So
yeah, we got to get that out
Jeff
to
Brown's
the
going to try to sell me a Tegu.
They are huge. That's what I had because that was the first one the first like 3S one, I think it was, that came out.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it is so big. Like the housing for it, it's awesome. It runs great. It's just massive. If you're trying to run something that doesn't have much space, it's a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
A lot of real estate.
I finally just got one of these little hand drills for running just little holes into stuff.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. I don't know why I didn't buy one earlier.
So
I've wanted to. They're super cheap. I just never did. But just to do quick little stuff like drilling out my bodies to put little screws in and stuff. I saw somebody using one. I'm like, I'm finally going to get it. I don't know why I've held out. It's like under $15.
So Robert Shaw is asking, what's the best monster truck to start on, everyone? I would say you think so?
Yep. How old? If you're over 15.
How much?
The LMT. Well, you save up for it. It's like anything in life. Where do you start? Do you want to start with one where you're like, I wish mine was doing that? Just save up because you're going to spend the amount of an LMT making it go as fast as the LMT. The second you realize
putting the cool 2.6
crap, this is not fast enough. I spent $200 on a brushless system, and you're at $500. You should have just saved the money and got a.
Yeah.
Or you buy just the kit and then get your own electronics, and then you'll be at the same price as a SMT with
everything else.
But yeah,
the
as
big
they
thing,
just pick it up out of the box and go, LMT is the best experience you're going to have.
Yeah, like I said, I drank the Kool-Aid after seeing my kid drive it. Like, and this was the kit version, but I mean, still, just throwing electronics in it.
Well, just doing a backflip is so much easier because the SMTs twist.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to get the rotation to be smooth and perfect with. I find with the SMT10, it wants to twist around and land backwards.
Well,
basically,
cyclone
twist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, and especially once you throw those 2.6s on it, those tires seem to want to tear the car in half on a.
Well, you have to buy new. You have almost after a week or two, you have to buy new diffs, gears, and get the hardened ones, which is $60 to get them for both axles.
Yeah.
So you're now at $360. Plus, you have to get beef tubes to put in the axles so they don't break. Now you're at, and so technically you can't do that for. You should get a brace of some type for the LMT2, but
right.
Because they'll break too. But it's easy to make an SMT10 cost as much as an LMT, but not be as good.
Did I ever show you these?
Yeah, you want 2.6? You're going to buy 2.6 wheels and tires. That's $120. So now you're at $420. You just get the LMT.
Did I ever show you these?
No.
These are munitions.
Yeah.
With a 2-piece.
What?
I made these. These are 2-piece wheels.
How did you get them off this? Did you bake them?
I tried every which way, and the best way I found was to just slowly walk the bead with a blade and peel it down. But they're 2-piece wheels printed with that VO 3D stuff. High impact PLA. They bolt through the back, so like that. And they're not quite bead locks, but I don't care. I just glue them down. But they are
offset different.
No, I think it's pretty close.
Okay.
But I really like these wheels on the SMT10, or these tires.
Yeah.
They're like the perfect tire for SMT10.
They're better than, they're almost 2.6 height.
Right.
for the look, but without all that extra weight.
Yep. I love these tires. So I printed them, and I'm going to be testing them out on someone's SMT10 and see how they run. See how long the hex lasts. That's the other thing I did on this. You can see it. I fattened up the ring around the hex so it won't round out as easily. Hopefully.
Looks good. Gary Hinger says, I was looking at the Jegs monster truck. Looks like it's basically the Sen B50 or HO 150. It's going for $259. Is it worth it? Here's the thing about that truck. It's a lot of fun. Controlling it is really tough because the servo sits in the middle at the upper in the frame, and it doesn't sit in the front. It sits in the front of the frame, has a bar that goes to the middle of the truck to a little switcher thing so it could do force steer if you added you
So like
change your rear axle. It'd make it like a Wheelie King or whatever, or where you can do force steer with one servo. So it does this little thing, and then it runs all the way back to the front, and then it has another bar that goes side to side. So your slop, there's so much slop in the steering that you have to drive it all the time. You can't let go of it and have it recenter, self-center, and drive straight. It always kind of like ends. You let go of it, and it kind of wherever it was, it finds a little bit close to center. So then you try and steering trim it. And then the next time you turn right, and now it's driving off to the right. And so you can't ever trim it right. So the only workaround was a buddy of mine made me a pretty simple plate that goes on the axle, and it allows you to mount your servo to the axle, which is huge. Took care of all that slop. Works great if you do that. And then Freestyle RC started selling them. The problem is he accidentally overwrote the file on a CNC machine, and he has to manually enter the code. And it's like he doesn't make or sell enough of them for him at this point to type all of it back in. So I may see if he'll send me the file for it, his design file, so we can at least 3D print them.
Yeah.
And get people running on axle servo mounts again. I wish Sen would just make them. They still use those axles, so the parts are still available because the same parts are running in there.
I never see Sen parts. Like I just don't know.
There are. Well, if you have the F450, you'd see them, but you have to buy them from them pretty much if you want to get all the cool stuff. Or Chaos makes their upgrade brand.
Okay.
But you can, Gary, still get different parts from Sen direct for them, and a lot of it works with these new F450s, same axles that are on the monster trucks. But they have that same issue that the Barrage and them have, the little Barrage, in that they use that pinch for the C-hub on the outer parts. So you have the axle, and the C-hub slides on. It's kind of grooved like the old axial SCX-10s were. So you could change your caster or whatever a little bit. But then it has like the plastic comes together at the top, and there's a slit, and then there's a screw that goes through it to pinch it on there. And that can, after a few hits really hard, just become where it slips off too easily.
Yeah. If
you hit something or jump weird. But you can put a nut on the other side and really cinch it. But so there's workarounds, but you have to really want to do it. I would say at $259, you'd be better getting an SMT10 right now.
I was going to say for an extra $50, you've got the SMT10 RTR, I think. So,
yep. And there's more parts support and just overall support for it. And I like Sen. I'm a big fan of Sen stuff. So, and I have that truck. I have both of the HL 150 and the B50. They're easy to work on, which is a good thing.
They look rad.
Yeah, I like the planetary diffs too. It actually is very smooth driving.
Yeah.
But mine work really great because I have those little upgrades.
Yeah.
You can actually get the C-hubs in aluminum, and that also fixes that problem. But, it's just all extra costs that I'm talking about incurring on it. But yeah, they're fun trucks. I was talking about it earlier for the Kevin Talbot Freestyle. That's what I used.
You made me think about something too. I need to cut my axle braces for my LMT. I totally forgot about that. I don't know if that would have helped or not in the break that had happened, but I can cut them out of aluminum at the shop.
Yeah. Miko Thomas, yes.
Mondrox, yes, sir.
Yep. Had an awesome run, man. Love the fire.
It was great.
And the wall ride against your fence was so cool.
Yeah. Yep. No, it was really good. We had a fun one, man. I thought that was a lot of fun. So we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
One more, or do I keep it going? We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, see what the vibe is like for the next one. I mean, it could all just blow up and be huge again, like in an awesome way, right?
Yeah, and like I said, maybe just doing one is the way to go. Just doing one a year versus 2 a year. I mean, it's nice having seasons, I guess. It's like the season opener kind of a thing,
Yep. I do like the 2. I mean, 2 times a year seems plenty good.
Yeah.
The sleigh one was pretty good, but that limits the Northerners a lot.
Well, and it's just, I think it's hard with
too busy time of year. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about family, so it's really hard to be like, find that time. And you're going to have a hard time if where you're at now.
Yep. That's why I haven't been running my monster trucks. Instagram's killing me watching everybody run theirs.
I know. I need to get mine done. So my son's, the one that we used to run as son of a digger truck, is converted to a U4 racer now. My daughter's is still ready to go. And then my mine I tore apart to do the black market. And that was right before we got the LMT. So I got to either put together the black market and really get after that build, because I had a whole top half tuber that I have designed bending. And I was like, oh, do I do that, or do I make it into like a 2.2 class 3 crawler? I don't know. It's going back and forth. So Miko said he blew 2 servos.
And one of them was in that run.
Oof. Yeah. Servos are a tough one.
Was it, and you just kept going, or was it toward the end of the run?
I always love that when your
steering
servo
seemed pretty good on it.
It did.
Maybe he only had one direction.
Yeah.
I've had that before where I learned, okay, always turn left if I need to turn around.
Yep. I was just going to say, it's that Kentucky windage style right there. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I think it's time to shut it down.
Yep. Let's kill it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Pablo, for running the event.
Thank you.
Sorry,
I
wasn't in it.
Oh, no.
This year. It was fun to judge, though.
Yeah.
So even if I run again next time, maybe I'll get to judge a different class.
There you go.
I actually liked how that was able to work out, where you could potentially, like Outlaws, right? Judged one of them.
One, yeah.
What was in the other, yeah.
Yeah, and with EWS, he judged one.
Yep.
And wasn't in the other. So, yeah, I think it's cool. And I think it's cool because it changes up the flavor of the judges, right? I really like the way, I don't want to drag this out anymore, but I like the way that it was able for judges to drop in and judge versus kind of, the live thing seems cool. And it was very like amped up when we did it live the last time. I had the pre-running show and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool. But that is just way too much time.
Yeah.
Like it is just way too much time. And especially that one that I did.
When you're trying to live add up the scores and tally it
that, I don't know what I was thinking last time. That last time I did it, it was like, I think I had a 36-hour turnaround on due dates, and then I had to throw it all together. And I was like,
dang.
And work. I was like, no, thank you. So, I think
that Zach will probably ask, put in a petition for me not to be a judge ever again.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. That's too funny.
I didn't remember giving that a 10. But that move was so sick, man.
I'm going to start trying to go after that move all the time.
I've tried for a long time. I still haven't done it.
Has Big pulled it off?
I did it, and then I crashed out. I over pulled the moonwalk at the end.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually what I was trying. If you watch with the Sen B50, I spent a whole video trying to get into it because I could do that bicycle so well.
Yeah.
And I did actually get it one time with the Sen.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. He had the slow motion for it to like really feel like it was long.
Yeah.
He just full on did it in that move. You didn't need slow motion.
That's
I
the
remember screaming when I saw it. I'm like, oh no, he didn't. Like I was like loud down here in my basement.
That's one of those things that I want to do, and I don't know if it's possible. I want to put a censored motor in it and be able to walk it way more smooth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have the driving skill for that, but you know what I'm talking about? Like if you could
definitely would help.
If you could stand it on end and just like get it to do like the real ones do, that'd be so rad.
Yeah, that'll be next level.
That would be so rad.
That or get a gyro to do it for you, like those toys that have it. Find out what they put in there. Losi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start talking to Spin Master. See whatever they're doing to get that one Gravedigger to do all those cool tricks.
Yeah.
We want to see it in the LMT too.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you again for tuning in. And this was fun. This was different, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It's just very casual. We went everywhere with the conversation after that and during it, and watching the stuff together was fun. It was like
maybe we can do that as a segment on Talk Your Face Off, where we look at someone's reel or something like that.
We should have them submit some stuff to look at. That way we don't get in trouble with the.
I like your style. I like that idea.
Yeah, we'll get some people to submit some tricks and stuff that they do to look at and talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Let's do it.
So, and I think with us talking over, it'll help with the audio.
Yeah.
Not being picked up for copyright violations and stuff.
Or maybe that's just our monthly thing. Like, I don't remember who was mentioning that, but it's not a monthly thing. But I just mean maybe that's just a thing where it's like maybe twice a month we take submissions and they're just random trick submissions and we talk about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't have to do anything crazy to them. Just throw them up on the screen.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Or in the vein of, coming up with completely original ideas for the show, we could have people submit their photos to us, and we would do like a live Lightroom session where we'd both come up with a creation of what that photo should look like. And totally original idea I'm having right here. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then let people vote on who did a better job with the Lightroom edit of that photo.
You know what we should do tomorrow instead of wait till next week is we should take a 24 scale and see what we can do and build it out in 24 hours for a 24 scale.
In 24 hours, like from the show to like tomorrow, have it ready?
I'm just saying in originality. They're doing.
Did they do that in a 24 hour?
They're planning on doing that with the base camp.
Oh, a 24-hour build to do it. Oh, okay. Yeah. I hadn't seen that yet.
Come on, Tony. Leaving me hanging.
Shoot. Well, they were on tonight, so does that mean that they had it already done?
No.
Or did they do it last week?
He talked about it in the Scale News update, so.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I missed those Lightroom ones. Those were fun.
Yeah.
I don't get to use Lightroom as much as I used to when I worked my last job.
Yeah.
I did a lot of photography stuff.
I was
early on into it, and man, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
Now we can do it all on our phones just as well, but with all the same kind of power. It's crazy.
Instagram filters.
Yeah. The Photos app now has most of the stuff you would run and use in Lightroom is built right into the Photos app on an iPhone.
I know.
All the shadow, highlight, all that stuff. It's crazy. Well, anyway, guys, we've outed you now 3 times to say goodnight. So stay classy. I'm going to say that so this fool won't try to stick it in at the end here as we go offline.
Watch what you say.
Hey, now.
You watch your mouth, Tony.